Welcome in to the day three recap of the Shipyard Showdown 2025. Coach Smith, how are we doing?
Coach, it's a big night here. Had a big day at the yard. Got a little more sun. Finally thawing out a little bit. Those of you that were there at the ballpark, especially there at that last game tonight, got a little cold. So if you're strapping up in the morning, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock game, better pack some layers because it's gonna be cold.
It's going to be really cold. The wind will be whipping. Um, hey, Coach, before we get into day three here, the recap of it, and we move into day four, for all the Blake Rollins of the world who doubt my picks, there's only one person in this group that correctly picked the Tigers to sweep the Cocks. And I think in that prediction, I also said it wouldn't be close. Now, if you look at the scores, it was close, whatever. Statistically, the Gamecocks had no damn chance to beat the Tigers in any, you could say game, but hell, at this point, they couldn't beat them in any inning. So in that case, the Tigers take the sweep. The Cocks, it's a tough go for them. They're using those brooms to use tonight, especially you, Coach Rowland. We know you're a Cox fan. It's going to be a tag night here. But, Coach, that was the last pick I've made. We picked the Shipyard Showdown before I made my Clemson Carolina pick. So I'm about to turn this into a streak here very soon as we move some more picks in the night. So watch out. Oh, before we get to that, we got to add this in, right? Make sure you come to the Casey Cafe. Simple as that. Now, as we move into day three, Coach.
I wonder what kind of Charleston had. I know they didn't have the weekend they were looking for, but I thought last night in Charleston here for us will thought I'd show a little love over there to the Cougs.
Cougs. Everybody loves the Cougs. You can't go wrong with the Cougs.
Everybody does.
Hey, we've already started in the comments.
Here we go.
Anyway, let's move into a day three recap here. We'll go through some quick scores. You start off with Lugolf Elgin and St. James. Big game there to start off. Lugolf Elgin with a walk-off to take it 2-1. Oceanside takes down Chapman 4-1 in the game of the day, ultimately vaulting Oceanside into the championship game. Fountain Inn took down Ashley Ridge 6-2 to put them in the first place and get the 1 seed in the championship. Eastside takes down Philip Simmons 11-3. Wando takes down Northwestern 5-1 in a game, Coach. It was very close early. It made Oceanside still on the edge of their seats there in terms of the championship game. Legion Collegiate wins 6-4. And before I move on here, Legion Collegiate was down 4-1, came back to win the game. They had new uniforms today, Coach, in remembrance of Coach Jalen Benjamin, former head coach at Legion, who passed away very recently. Really like the unis. Shout out to those guys for wearing those in remembrance of him and also getting that big win in comeback fashion. And then to cap the night off, hadn't had one all week. Anahan took on Catawba Ridge in what was a very good game, very talented game. They tie the ball game 4-4. We got a tie, right? Catawba Ridge was down 4-2. Come back, tie.
It turned out that last inning, like I said, it got cold, but man, that was a really good game. We expected it was going to be a good game. That was one I think had highlighted earlier in the week when we were doing our preview for the tournament. And that didn't quite have anybody going to the championship game hype to it that we thought it might have, but it ended up being one of the better games we've seen since we've been down here overall. And it ended in a tie, but it looked like Hanahan had it there for a while, and Catawba Ridge and their lineup was able to turn that thing over and give it one more run in the 7th inning and tied it up. And it ended up being a really good ball game. So, two fun teams to watch. Two teams going to have really good years, and kind of brought us home here tonight.
And with that, Coach, let's talk about some top performers from day three. Flip it to you.
All right, I got 5 that I threw out there, so I'm gonna roll really fast through some of these. I'm gonna start with our end of the night. We had some really good arms that went in that last game. We kind of thought, at least I thought, going into the day 3 was gonna be the day people started running out of pitching, and we might see some big scores, some long games. We'd have a long day, but we really stayed on schedule all day, and actually saw some really good arms today. I'm gonna start at Catawba Ridge, and it's not necessarily just for the arm, but 2025 Britton Nash. He been playing shortstop for him most of the week, and swung the bat well. I think we had a video of him the other day get with a hit. He played really good shortstop for those guys. He came in out of the pen today or tonight, right there at the end of that game, and man, he kind of he looked good. So he was in the. I'm trying to see what I had him up to. He was up to 85, 84, 85, and spun a really good breaking ball. Me and Blake were back there, man. He had an impressive outing for Catawba Ridge. So, yeah, they've kind of stacked up some arms we've seen. So, you say something?
No, I say that.
In the lobby. So yeah, he like I said, really good shortstop, good two-way guy, swings the bat well. I think he had a big hit right there. I could be wrong. I think he had a big hit there in that last inning as Catawba Ridge making that comeback to tie that game up. So Britton Nash, 2025, like I said, definitely keep an eye on. See where we end up there. On the other side, starting pitcher for Hanahan. Me and you kind of talked about him a little bit before the game. Interested to see what he was going to be able to do. Riley Ballard, 2025. He's been playing a little first base over there for him. I think he's played some third this week. But he got the start on the mound. Big kid, tall kid, good frame, pretty good hitter in the box. But he got the start. Went deep in that ball game. Was 83, 85, topped out 87 a couple times, and also he also spun a good breaking ball. So it was a really good pitching matchup. We saw some good arms tonight, but Riley Ballard, another really good one we saw. He had a good start, like I said, and I think there's a definite future there on whichever side he chooses to go with. So I definitely like him on the mound tonight. Got a lot of promise with that frame, and I mean, even just where he already is, it's not just let's see what he can build up to. He's already there. He's topped out 87 a couple times tonight. Then I'm gonna move to Wando. They got on the board, got their first win of the tournament today. We've talked a lot about that lineup. I'm talking about the arm that threw today, Corbin Martins. He's had a really good tournament. He had a home run yesterday, long home run yesterday, out to center field for those guys. And then he got the start this afternoon. 85, 86, spun a good breaking ball, threw the ball really well. And kind of, like you said, that Northwestern and Wanda, that one got – it was tight late. Part of that was the arms we had on the mound. So Martin's threw the ball well. Like I said, he's had a really good tournament. He's 2025 as well, plays all over the field. But he had a good start. Enjoyed getting to watch him. Have enjoyed watching him all week. So next up, I got from the morning game this morning, the arm that really impressed me, starting pitcher for Oceanside, Aiden Keller, 2027. I think I touched on him yesterday. He was one that got a hit off DeVries the other day, and he got the start this morning, and he was really good. And I feel like I've talked about an Oceanside pitcher had. So there's several deep on the mound there, but Keller, 2027 sophomore, lefty. He was 83, 84. I believe, topped out at 85 on the mound, 70, 73 with a curveball. He had some runs, some late life on that fastball. When he locates, he's going to be tough. He's going to be really tough for those guys, especially if he's pitching out of that three spot in the rotation behind Becker and Fregola. Man, that's a good three right there that he's got going for him. Coach Reams it's going to be a good season for him to be able to roll those guys out 1, 2, and 3. And then some of those arms he's got coming out of the pen as well. And then my last one, we're going to talk about Eastside a little bit. I think you're going to bring up Eastside too here in a minute. But we got to give those guys a little love. We were talking about them up top while we were waiting on another game. If they hadn't had that bad end against Oceanside, we'd be talking about them being 3-0 and playing for a championship. So, Coach Irwin got those guys playing good ball right now. And, I mean, really outside of they had a run rule yesterday and then pulled another big win today. But they've had one bad inning in the whole tournament they've been down here. It kind of cost them some spots as far as seeding goes, but impressive week for the Eagles so far. But I'm going to talk about Andrew Brandt, another 2027. We've had some really good 2027 arms in this tournament, or 2027 players in general. But Andrew Brandt, another tall kid, kind of similar to Ballard. We talked about a minute ago. Tall kid, frame, got a lot to build on, but he's got a good arm as is. He was 80-82, topped out at 83, but I think there's a lot more there. He's a skinny kid. He get a little more on that frame, and he's gonna be tough. He threw the ball really well today for Eastside, and I think that's another one. You pair him in with some of those other guys we've seen them throw. Obviously, we talked about DeVries the first day, but you start pairing him up with some of these other guys. Eastside's got a good team. We didn't talk about them much last year. They didn't have the year they wanted last year, but we're talking about a team who won 2 state championships in like a 3-year window. So they're coming. Everybody better watch out for the Eagles. But Andrew Brandt, definitely one to watch on the mound this year. Interested to see what that fastball gets up to. Like I said, he's up to 80 today, but I think there's more there. I think there's going to be more there by the end of the year. So, I think that's all my rambling I'm going to do for now.
I'm going to stay with you there on the east side train. Lawson Shirley has had one hell of a weekend so far. We've got 3 social media posts out on him, but continues to hit the ball hard all weekend. Smaller frame, but some athleticism there. Bat to ball skills are good. Line drive approach, but he continues to have a big weekend for an offense that just has continued to slug. It'll be exciting to see how he performs tomorrow to kind of cap the weekend off. Never know. All tournament team, we're getting there. But he's been a big one for us this week as well. And then I only got one more here. You talk about way more than I do. One guy that I know me and Sammy are familiar with, and that is Daniel Ebling at Philip Simmons, 2028 third base catcher, lefty swing. He's had 2 big hits for Philip Simmons this week, and Philip Simmons hadn't had as great as a weekend as they'd like, but Daniel has been a bright spot for those guys. Younger guy that swings the bat really well, athleticism, a lot of confidence in that young kid. Had him at junior futures, and he just continues to play the game hard, swing the bat the right way. It's gonna be a fun one to watch as he gets older, and his brother's pretty good too. So those are my 2, Coach.
Good behind the plate too.
Yes, he is.
Good job behind the plate this weekend.
Really good player. 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, part 1 of Scout Blocks come out. So obviously we've talked about some guys, but you'll see them in the Scout Blogs as they release tomorrow morning, part 1. We're going to have 4 parts this year. That many guys to talk about on the Scout Blogs. It's just been that kind of week, Coach.
I know every year I feel like we say, man, the talent has been there, but this has been impressive down here. I ain't gonna lie. We've talked. I feel like at least I've talked 3, 4, 5 guys every night. But I was pulling my list a minute ago, just looking. But there's 3, 4, 5 kids on every team we could talk about if we wanted to, and will. But we've had some really, really good baseball played down here. A lot of competitive games. We've had a lot more close competitive ball games. It's been fun to watch than we have, blowouts that were kind of like, all right, let's hurry and get this one over with so we can move along. But man, we've had a really good week of ball so far, and I've enjoyed it. I can't wait to see how. Got another day. Got a championship game coming. Got some good matchups tomorrow. Everybody's got something to play for tomorrow. Everybody. Well, we got teams playing for a championship. We got teams that are 0-3. Somebody gonna try to get that win. You know, going home out of here 2-2 is a lot better than going out of here 1-3. So, you know, everybody's got something to look for tomorrow.
Now, Coach, we've made our top performers. About team of the day. You know what? I won't let you go first this time. I'm gonna go first.
Go for it. Fire away.
I can already alluded to this. My team of the day is the Lancers. Give me Legion Collegiate. Big come from behind win, but like I said before, new unis. A lot was on their mind today with Coach Jalen Benjamin, and kind of pulled one out late against West Ashley to move to 2-1 in the tournament. An impressive weekend they've had, offensively, defensively. So big kudos to them. So that's my team of the day.
Coach, you're gonna be happy with it, but I'm going. I couldn't do it early in the tournament because I picked them.
All right, cut.
You got to give me the Fury for my team of the day for a couple of reasons. One, that they punched their ticket, but I think the biggest thing is they knew going into the day what they had to do to get that spot in the championship game, and they came out and done it. Ashley Ridge is a good team. Ashley Ridge is not a bad baseball team. They've come down here and played 3 good games, and came up on the wrong side of all of them. But that's a good team, and I think Fountain Inn. I picked them early in the week, and I feel better about picking them now that I've seen them play. Anderson Hayes threw the ball really well today. I mean, he threw the ball extremely well. I know Coach Rowland said he was hoping he'd get 4 out of him and let Irizarry finish it out, and that's exactly what he got. And I told you before you went down there, the question his pitching changed, but he actually looked like a genius when he got done with it because, I mean, Hayes threw the ball well, threw enough strikes to get by, let him put it in play, and we kind of dogged their defense a little bit last night while we were talking, and I thought they played their best defensive game, one of the better defensive games we've seen played since we've been down here. We had a suicide squeeze. We got down, scored a run. They just a lot of those guys in that lineup that's been hitting all week just kept hitting. Lucas Cannon out there in center field. We talked about him swinging the bat earlier in the week. He wore sunglasses today, caught everything that went his way. And Joel Irizarry came in, finished the game out on the mound, and looked. I mean, he closed out a game early in the week. Now he's closed this one out and looked at every bit as good. But I think those guys, again, just knowing we've seen teams who have came into day 3 down here before, knowing all we got to do is win and we're in and lay an egg. And the Fury came down here knowing they had to win and get in and got it done. So look forward to seeing what they're gonna do tomorrow. They're gonna have their hands full, that's for sure. But I think just as far as today goes, I think Fountain Inn won it today.
We knew you were going now. I'm good now.
I had to wait till day 3. I picked them to win the tournament. I couldn't pick them as my team of the day on Monday, on Friday or Saturday, and then they lay an egg, made me look bad.
Coach, it. Anyway, but let's look at this, right? We moved to day 4, right? Championship Monday, what it is now. Day 4 preview schedule will go out in the morning, but we'll kind of preview with some matchups here if I can get it pulled up. I know we start off in the morning. Let's see. We're gonna pull the schedule up. I'll probably get to it faster than I can.
Doubt it.
No, we got it right here. We'll start off in the morning. West Ashley will take on Wando. Ashley Ridge will take on Philip Simmons. Move to 10 a.m. games. Eastside will take on Lugoff. Be an interesting game there. Another one here with St. James taking on Catawba Ridge. 2 5A teams going out of there. You move to the 12 o'clock game. Hanahan takes on Legion. Another good game. Before I get to the championship game. And then the 2 o'clock game is Chapman taking on Northwestern. I think that's a little underrated game there, Coach. Could be an interesting one there with the way both teams have kind of shocked some people this weekend. And then our championship game at 1:30, Oceanside takes on Fountain Inn. Oceanside, no stranger to the championship game at the Shipyard Showdown. They've won it a few times. So, like you said, big day tomorrow. A lot of interesting matchups.
I think I mean, like I said a minute ago, everybody's got something to play for. If you're both 0-3, you're trying to get to 1-3 because you definitely don't want to be 0-4. I think that Chapman Northwestern matchup at 2 o'clock's got a lot on the table because that's two teams we didn't know anything about really coming down here. And it'll be interesting to see how both of those teams bounce back because they were teams coming into today that were 2-0 and had a shot to try to get in that championship game. And both of them played well. They were in their ball game. They were right there, gave themselves a shot and came up on the wrong end. So I'd be interested to see how those two teams respond after having the chance to be there on day 3 and not getting in. I want to see what those two teams respond with. And then I think after that, I think that Lugolf Eastside matchup, that's two teams. Day 1 didn't go the way they wanted to, but ever since then, they've kind of picked themselves up off the mat a little bit, and they're both sitting at 2-1. And Eastside had every chance in the world to be 3-0, and Lugolf sitting here didn't have probably had their worst performance on day 1. They got a shot to get out of here 3-1. So, I think that matchups. I think we got several matchups. I mean, obviously the championship game is going to be fun, but that it's St. James, Catawba Ridge, another one. It's going to be a lot of fun. And a lot of the story tomorrow is probably going to be who has anybody left that can throw. If you've got, it's early in the year. We've seen a lot of these teams, and good for them taking some kids out on the pitch counts early. It'd be interesting to see who, we're on the 4th day consecutively playing, and most of these teams have had to use 2 guys a day at least. We're gonna be getting down into number 7, 8, 9 in the pecking order. We're gonna see what some people's got left.
Youngins, it's time for these youngins to step up. Those newcomers we talked about on the high school preview show, it's time. Newcomers step up. See what you got here.
Tomorrow's going to be today, and tomorrow's kind of that day where you figure out who's going to be able to do this thing in the playoffs too. Who's deep enough to do this? James Island come down here and showed us they had enough arms to win this thing last year, and look where they ended up. So Hanahan was the same way. Hanahan had the arms last year to come down here and play in the championship game and had a shot to win it, and there they were playing the state championship. So,
the track record on you making it to the Shipyard Showdown Championship and making it to a state championship game is very high right now. The way we've had these recent teams playing over the past few years. And before we move into one pick here, Coach, 88 players on the social media account. It's 88, not 88 tweets, but 88 different players. Every team has at least 5 players or more that are on social media. So coverage has been better than any year previously at the Shipyard Showdown. But that's a credit to the players that we've seen, the talent we've seen this week. And we know that continues to get better through the years. So thank you, players, for showing out so we can put you out, give you some exposure. Now, Coach, the moment we've all waited for, the moment people are raising hell in the comments about talking a lot of shit to each other.
We're here for that.
Championship picks. So Championship Monday is here at 1:30. Oceanside will take on Fountain Inn. Fountain Inn being the top seed. Now we'll go through some things here. Danielle did pick Oceanside to win the championship in her original picks. You picked Fountain Inn. Me, Sean, and Sammy are out of those picks on who we took. However, we do believe in second chances here at Prep Baseball, South Carolina. Austin, are you sticking to your guns?
Ooh, man, I won props to me and Danielle both. picking this thing early. And I'll be honest with you, if I'd have known the talent that these two teams right here had coming into this thing, if I'd have known what Oceanside had before we got down here, I might would have picked Oceanside, because I'm gonna tell you something, that's a good baseball team. Coach Reeves got them boys playing well. But I can't pick Fountain Inn before the tournament starts. Come down here and they go 3-0 and play the way they have and not stick with them. So give me the Fury tomorrow. I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to come down to the end of the game, and it's going to come down to who's got that extra arm to roll out that we didn't know they had, and who's going to play good defense. Who's not going to make that big error late in the game. Give me the Fury.
Ooh. I like that pick, Coach. I like that pick. I struggle sometimes, with second chances, but I'm about to start a streak here with my picks. There's only one person better in the business other than Cole West and Blake Rowland, and that's Coach Payne at Daniel. But I got that. The struggle, Coach.
Sorry to everybody else in the state he just left out. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Y'all are still right after Coach Rowland and Cole West. Now, Coach, they're the Land Sharks, right? Oceanside's Land Sharks.
I think so.
They're throwing a guy, I'm pretty sure first name's Finn. That kind of, Finn, Land Sharks kind of goes together. And I'm going to start a streak here. Give me Oceanside by 90. Take down the Fury. Oceanside are your Shipyard Showdown champs. That's my pick. I'm sticking with Danielle.
That's bold, Coach. One, okay. We don't know that he's pitching Finn unless you got some information. I don't know. I just assume.
I don't have any information, but I can tell you right now, if Oceanside loses this game, I'm going to be on every social media account in the country that's related to anything in the Greenville area.
Yeah, you're going to have a hard time going home. They might block off 26 up there somewhere on the way home for you. You might not be able to get in. No, I do. I think it's going to be. I think that's going to be. We've had some good championship games down here the past couple of years, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow. I hope you're getting lit up on them comments. I really do.
I'm getting lit up, and I'll tell you when I get back into the yeah. I mean, I might wear flip flops tomorrow.
As long as you don't wear them with them pants you wore today, it don't matter.
Ooh. And pants, you never know what I might wear.
If you got something tighter than them pants,
I have found out.
You have to have help putting them things on if you got something tighter than them things.
I do. Coach, I have found out that for all these burner accounts on Instagram, this is when you reveal people's masks. They're all 95% of them are Fountain Inn guys, because after that comment I made, everybody said, "Let's go to work." So hey, mask off, as Future says. Give me the Sharks and the Mr. Kakuba if he pitches.
Who's Sammy and Sean taking? I'm assuming Danielle's staying on the wagon.
You would think Danielle stays on the wagon. I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Well,
hey, someone just told me if I pick Fountain Inn, they'll take back what they said about my height. See, the Fury's already messed up. We talked bad about my height. We talked about some things in some Instagram comments. It's just I've never caught flack from a Land Shark, and I'm sticking with Palmer here. Palmer's my guy.
I'm sure someone's made fun of you before.
Never at OCA.
I'm ready to see what these two teams come out with uniform wise more. They both had some really solid uniforms this week. I'm ready to
Really,
see it because Oceanside, them gray pinstripes, they were that was a big time. Yeah, the white pinstripes they wore the other day I don't know. I'm interested to see what they come out with because I think so far they've gone white pins, gray pins, and all black. I don't know what they got left for tomorrow, but I'm ready to see it. And Coach Wallen and his boys, they've got some good. They've come out with some good looks. So um, I'm ready.
Hey, we'll see tomorrow. 1:30. Social media account will be popping off again. We do have a video of Coach West and Coach Rowland coming out, but it'll be after this tournament's over. They got mic'd up today. Great content, guys. But hopefully we'll have some good content. We'll pick an MVP tomorrow for the championship game. You get some gear along with it. So guys that are in that championship game, make sure you show out so you can take home that MVP. Take home some prep baseball swag. A lot going on here, Coach. It's coming to an end, but you couldn't ask for two better teams in the championship game.
Yeah, no, I'm looking for. I think this has been the two best teams we've had all week, and interested to see who comes out on top. I mean, Oceanside's had about everything thrown at them that you can throw at somebody in a 3-day window, and came out on the other side. So we'll see. I'm excited.
We will not have a day 4 recap because we'll see you Tuesday evening for our regularly scheduled podcast. I think we're on episode 113. The whole staff will be on, and then we'll move it back to Sundays. But I know we're excited for that. We'll kind of recap that Shipyard, the whole entire Shipyard Showdown on Tuesday's podcast. But that's going to end us for this little recap here. Austin, you got anything else to add?
No, enjoyed it. Like I said, if you're coming out to the park tomorrow, you better pack something warm. It's going to be chilly. But no, we've enjoyed it. We've had a good week. I know we'll get to recap it a little more on Tuesday, but been some good ball down here.
Always is, Coach. Always is. Best coverage in the state as well. So, hey, we're going to wrap this sucker up. From me and Austin here at Prep Baseball, South Carolina, we hope you have a great